Now, the P&O Ferries saga continues, and this week demonstrators attempted to block the main entrance to one of the company's terminals. The protests, which were organised by the RMT union, are of course over the sacking of 800 workers across the UK back in March. The union said it would be urging passengers to boycott P&O services. Well, to discuss the saga with us, I'm delighted to say we're joined by technology investor and former CEO of Porsche and BMW, Kevin Gaskell. Kevin, what did you make of this? Because you must have engaged with unions in your role in the past, but how would you have handled it differently?
You know, I've led 15 companies and I've had to lead turnarounds at 6 of those. And every time it starts with the people. So we've very successfully led turnarounds. We've taken businesses from very difficult situations to be very successful. But it starts with the people. It has to start with the people. And I think the most shocking part of what I saw as one leader watching another company being led was the way that the message was given to the team, which was appalling. It was simply appalling. And, you know, when you're leading a turnaround, you've got a number of aspects that you have to adhere to. First is legal. There are very clear rules and legal guidelines around how you can make people redundant and what the process is. And, of course, you have to adhere to those. The second is the ethical component of treating people properly. You're affecting lives here. You're affecting jobs. And as a leader of a business, your responsibility is to make sure that any transition is handled in the most effective way possible to help people. The business may have to change its structure. And of course, you know, look at P&O and it's gone through the pandemic and Brexit and all of those background reasons. But I've led businesses where we've also gone through colossal shifts in the market. And we've had to change our business structure and change our business model. But ultimately, we've come through it and we've been very successful. You know, at Porsche, we went from number 32 in the market to number 1 over 4 years. We did that with the people. It's about capturing hearts and minds. And so for me, the biggest issue about this whole saga was watching the way that people were frankly badly treated, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And ultimately, as chief executive, you never want to see your company get bad PR. And what this has done has just been horrendous. I mean, the impact on their P&L of the fallout must just be extraordinary.
Thanks, Kevin. Paul?
Yeah, Kevin, I wonder if you share my view, and you touched on it there, that actually trade unions can and often do play a very positive role in the workplace. And it is far better for a management to take that on board and engage with unions than to treat them, for example, in the way P&O did. So, for example, productivity is arguably improved where people feel they've got a collective voice that's being listened to, that management is taken on board their concerns. And the evidence shows that often leads to a happier workforce. Do you share that view?
Yeah, I absolutely do. I took over a company called Fairline when it had gone through 10 years of losses. We're a very large manufacturing company. We made big boats, luxury £5 million motor yachts. And my first meeting, quite honestly, with the team, we had 1,500 staff and it was a unionized business. And my first meeting as CEO, I thought I was going to get thumped before I got out of the room. It was that aggressive. Now, the aggression wasn't towards me. It was towards the fact that the people in the business were passionate about making this business successful again. And I had to create a relationship very, very quickly with the union leaders to make sure that we all understood that there's only one version of the truth. You know, we are where we are. This is where the business is. But we share the ambition to turn this into a very successful business again. And so that relationship was my first priority. It was absolutely critical to make sure people understood we were all in the same team here. This was not a competition and this was not aggression. We needed to work together. And it took us 14 months to get that into profit after 10 years of losses. And it was the unions working with the unions that helped us to achieve that.
Thanks, Kevin. And sorry to cut this a little bit short, but Kevin, we do appreciate your time this morning. That's Kevin Glassman there.